Well, hello, you beautiful people. Today I'm here to share with you all of the books that I have pre-ordered for this year. I have a few. I think there are 5 here. One of them has already come in, which is very exciting, which means that I can get right into that very quickly. So, first up is No One Can Know by Kate Ellis Marshall. I read What Lies in the Woods, I think it was not last year, but the year before, and I really enjoyed it. And so here is her next novel, and it sounds just as good as the first. This follows a woman who needs to go back home. I love those stories where someone has disappeared from their life for a very good reason, but for some reason, they need to move back home. And so she and her husband, I think, have lost their jobs, and they really have no choice but to go back home to her parents' house. Now, her parents have died. They were actually killed in a very gruesome way, I believe. And I think she was there when they passed away. And so that was the reason that she left. But she has no choice. That house is the only real accommodation she can go to. So she goes back with her husband, and it really opens the floodgates of what happened that night. She and her sisters all agreed that night that no one could know what happened. But for her, everything is coming up and she's starting to question things. Winnie, come on then. Okay, here. Oh, God. Right in the lip gloss. Oh, God. All right. Okay, just come and relax. Okay, Winnie. You rest. Okay, rest. So she has started questioning things. She's older and wiser and also pregnant. And maybe that has something to do with it. And she starts wondering and questioning what really happened that night. And I'm so looking forward to this. The next book I have on pre-order is End of Story by AJ Finn. Now, even the name AJ Finn brings about a lot of opinions down in the comments below. I know many people have decided to break ways with AJ Finn, and I can understand that. I did a whole video about my thoughts on AJ Finn and why I am not really feeling like breaking up with him. Let's just say that. I am excited about this book. It's coming out in February. And this is about 2 authors, one of whom is about to die. He has, I think, 3 weeks or 3 months to live, something along those lines. He has invited another author who they've been like pen pals for a few years, if I'm not mistaken. And she is invited to come to him and sit down with him and find out about his life, a very interesting life at that. I think she's going to be writing some sort of biography about him. So she goes to this gorgeous, gorgeous mansion that he lives in with his wife and daughter. And she starts asking him about his life. He starts divulging, and they start really looking into one in particular thing that happened in his past, in which his then wife and then son went missing, just like completely vanished out of thin air, and were never found again. And she gets very intrigued by that, and I think the daughter also gets very intrigued by that and is starting to question who her father even is. I love this sort of story. It reminds me of like the 13th tale. There's certain tropes, just like No One Can Know, where you have someone going back home very reluctantly. I enjoy those tropes. I enjoy the trope of an author telling another person their life story, and there's always more to it than what it appears. So this one, yes, coming out, I think, February 20th. The next book is called Evergreen. This is coming out in Canada in March, I believe March 12th or something, mid-March. I believe it's already out in the UK. And this is written by Lydia Millen. She is a YouTuber that I follow. She's British, and I just really enjoy her channel. I find it very calming. She's definitely into fashion and beauty and all of that. And I love the beauty stuff. The fashion stuff is just fine to me. What I really love about her channel is she lives in the English countryside, and she really documents her life there, her calm life there. She has 2 Dachshunds and a model husband, and she has chickens in the backyard, and I just really love how she goes about her life, enjoying the seasons. And this book is very much celebrating the seasons, and that's why she's called it Evergreen. And I am looking forward to supporting Lydia and also reading her new book. She's only written 1 book. This is it. And it really is diving into the seasons and how she does it. And I'm sure she has some tips about how other people can do it. And that is actually one of my goals this year, is to really celebrate the seasons more and live in the season that you're in. It is full-blown winter right now in Canada, and I'm not yearning for spring. I'm just enjoying the winter. I'm enjoying the idea of going sledding with Nora, putting on the candles, just really digging in, and that's what this book is about. So I'm looking forward to reading it. The last 2 books are coming out in June. I hate that we have to wait that long, but I will happily wait and be a good girl for the new Riley Sager. I read every Riley Sager he comes out with. Some of them I really love, and some of them I do not enjoy whatsoever. But it's kind of my thing with this author that it like lands on my doorstep and I read it immediately. So this next one is called Middle of the Night, and it's got a great premise. It is about a sleepover, a backyard sleepover that happens when these kids are quite young. I think they're 8 or 9. They're sleeping in a backyard, Ethan and Billy, over at Ethan's house. And in the middle of the night, someone rips open the tent with a knife and steals Billy away, and no one sees him ever again until 30 years later. I believe Ethan has moved back to the area. Again, the trope. He's moved back to the area, and he starts to see signs of Billy on his property. And he's wondering if someone's messing with him, or did Billy really survive that night somehow? And he goes back into his childhood, which I imagine would be extremely traumatic to happen to you as a kid. But he dives back in and tries to find out what happened that night and if Billy really is alive. Last but not least is A Talent for Murder, which I have only recently discovered is the 3rd in a series. So this means I have some work to do. I need to read The Kind Worth Killing and The Kind Worth Saving by Peter Swanson, which is truly not a bad situation to be in because I really love that author. But Talent for Murder follows a woman who has been happily single and kind of just content with it, not even really interested in looking for a husband. But then someone sweeps her off her feet. She marries this man quite quickly. And then a year or so after the marriage, she discovers bloodstains on his work clothes. And she starts to question whether or not her husband is a murderer. Not a great situation. Wouldn't you rather be single for life than that, you know? No need for a man, especially when he is doing this kind of stuff. So she dives in. And yes, apparently it's the 3rd. I don't know at all how they're linked, but I'm excited to find out. Again, this comes out mid-June. Those are all of the books at the moment that I have pre-ordered. I do have a few books that I'm quite interested in that I'd love to get from publishers, but who knows what is going to happen. That would be lovely. But we shall see. And there are a few other books, like Tracy Chevalier is coming out with another book this year. There's a few that I'd really like to get my mitts on. So probably will not be the last of the pre-orders, but the last for now. So I will talk with you very soon. Oh, and let me know in the comments below, Do you have any pre-orders? Do you guys pre-order at all? Or are you the kind of people that like just wait for it to come out and then if you're around a bookstore, you'll pick it up? What are your thoughts on all of this? I'll talk with you soon. Bye, guys.